episode of the Relevant Recruiter Show. I'm your host, Donnie Gupton. It's the second Wednesday of the month, which means I'm joined by my phenomenal partner, Alexis. And today we're going to talk about a client success story, how we were to help one of our recruiting clients generate over 1,200% growth on his profile views, which ultimately resulted in doubling his revenue. So if you're waiting there with us live, we've got a lot of energy today. We're kind of goofy today. At least I am. I'll speak for myself. We are goofy. Okay, good. Alexis is welcome. Thank you, Alexis. Welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
As always. If you are getting there, we're going to let this thing get going. Go ahead and tap that like button. Let us know that you're there. Go ahead and drop in the comments. Let us know maybe where you are watching from today. And, possibly let us know what area of recruitment you're focused on. We're going to deliver a ton of value as we get going here today. But I'm trying to find my LinkedIn so I can interact with you folks while we are live. So let's go ahead and dive in. So a little bit about this recruiter. So he's an independent recruiter, actually works with a firm. He's a partner in a firm. And this individual focuses in the civil engineering and mechanical engineering recruiting space. And a little bit of backstory. So he is an expert recruiter. And a couple of years, he approached me, went through my Relevant Recruiter program. We had a lot of success with that. And as he got to the content part of what we implement, he had some challenges just with, clarity of what he was going to do with content. Had some challenges in general with just, staying focused on, doing his recruiting part while he also wanted to expand his brand presence. Now, one of the things he was all in on this being the solution. That he was all in on, developing content and building his brand, but there were some challenges in place that we're going to walk through that we helped him solve. And then ultimately the results that we got were really, really incredible. So, the first thing, Alexis, that we talk about with our clients is really, having a very tailored kind of brand strategy. And a lot of people that we work with and just like, the individual we're talking about here, they struggle with their brand voice, their tone, the overall direction that they want to go with their marketing efforts, which makes them kind of feel scattered and ineffective. Can you kind of just share how we were able to solve that challenge for our client here and all of our clients that we work with?
Yeah. And just for everybody listening, I just want to say that I'm going to talk about some of the solutions that we offer, but also make sure that they're tangible tips for you so you can take these things and implement some of them. So the first thing that we always want to focus on is brand strategy. Strategy yields results, right? We don't want to go about things in a way that's haphazard or unintentional. So first thing you need to do is make sure that you have clarity on your target market. Really getting clear on who that is, and is your audience and connection people that are in that target market? Are those your people, or is it past networks, past connections, but really you don't have a target that's going to be there to engage in your content anyways? So really getting clear and making sure that you're building your target market. The other thing that we do for our clients, we did for this client that we should be doing, is update your LinkedIn profile. First of all, make use of that banner header space. Like, it shouldn't be a random picture of the city that you live in. I mean, I think that those are lovely, but it should utilize the real estate. That's the first thing that people are going to see. So utilize the real estate, create your tagline, your niche, the most important things. Let's attract people there. Make sure you have an updated LinkedIn profile picture, one that is a great photo of you, fairly current, please. And then, we got to work on brand voice and tone. And this is what we do with our clients, is what we did with our client. Some people feel like they need to be something or mimic or mirror other people. You need to make sure that you are being who you are. And sometimes we have to get clarity on that. And for example, like in an onboarding call and an intake call, I'm talking with our clients on, well, what kind of tone do you want to admit? Like, who are you? What are the words that you like using or don't like using? And we want to make sure that you're reaching that target audience, maintaining your authenticity, because all of those things play into your success. Anything you want to add to that, Donnie?
Yeah, well, I think you nailed that one. I think the key of why you want the brand strategy and then to start to bring that brand to life on LinkedIn is because when we get to these next elements, people are going to usually go back to your profile. And when they go to your profile, then you need to be positioned as an obvious solution to help them in your marketplace. And so that's where these things are going to tie in very specifically. But there's one thing, that isn't so much a part of the strategy, but it's definitely necessary, and it's overlooked. Like, we create all the content, but if we don't have this, then it really doesn't matter. You want to dig into what we also kind of support with and what we encourage with, helping our clients grow their audience strategically.
Are we talking about the content strategy?
No, just more of like strategically building an audience so that they can
Yeah.
consume that content,
Yeah, a lot of times when clients or potential clients say to us that content doesn't work, one of the things that we like to do is go in to see who is consuming their content, right? Looking to see, and a lot of times it's your friends, it's your prior network, prior colleagues, but it's not necessarily your ideal clients. And so it's so important to make connections, to continually be working on growing your ideal clients in your network. And, content's a piece, absolutely. But if you're not working on building an audience of prospective clients, it's going to fall flat. So that's something that we always work with our clients on, to make sure that you are continually building that audience of people that are going to be ready to hear the content, because that's how we get content to work.
Yeah. So the other thing that kind of, that's important, once we have, how we want our brand strategy to go out, and we start to kind of build an audience to start to consume this, then, the biggest challenge is like, well, what do I create? Like, what content do I actually create that's going to, leave an impact for my audience, that's going to, help me cut through the noise, that's going to position me, as being a leader. This is very overwhelming for a lot of individuals, especially those in the recruiting space. But there's actually a lot of low-hanging fruit opportunity, out there. So what type of strategy or what type of content should, recruiters be creating, similar to like what we did with this client here?
Yeah, I'm going to share the strategy that we use with our clients, and that everybody can adopt or adapt and create content in these ways. So first thing we want to be doing is we want you to be seen as a leader. And first of all, I want to say the temptation is to create content. Like, when a lot of times when I look at people's profile, it's reposting other people's content, or it's like just sharing your open jobs, right? I understand, but that's not content creation that's going to move the needle. So while a piece of content may be a leadership piece in regards to something going on in your industry, reposting it isn't going to do much for you in regards to getting any traction. I'm going to go as far as to say it's probably not going to do anything. So we want you to lead. We want you to be seen as an authority in your industry. So in order to do that, you need to create content that shows that you are a leader. We want to hear the successful things that you've done, but I also want to learn about how you did those things with different companies. So how did you solve their problems? How did you provide a solution or a strategy that helped them be successful? You're not just telling what I did. You're also incorporating what the problem was for the company or organization and how you help solve it. You also want to be creating content that shows that you're a leader. I mean, we want to hear strong statements. I want to hear what you feel about not just what is going on in the industry, what are your thoughts on it? Right? I mean, anybody could do a market report, an industry report. What are your thoughts on it? What are your predictions? Whether you're right or wrong, like, it's things that you think. So always want to position you as a leader. So create content that leads. The second thing is we want you to create content that serves. How can you offer value into the market and into the industry? Please remember to keep this service piece focused on your target clients. It's very easy for you to serve other recruiters. It's very easy for you to serve peers. That's not what we're looking for here, because that's not going to move the needle. Again, feel free if you want to add that in, but that's not the type of content that's going to convert. So what are some value pieces that you can add in? What are some helpful things that you can give? Some tips, some education pieces, things that help people in that way and that put some goodwill out into the market. And then the final thing is connect. We want you to connect with your audience, because ultimately you are from an industry where there's a lot of competition, a lot of people doing the same thing that you are. And a lot of people struggle with understanding what your unique value is. You may feel like, well, I don't really have like a unique process. I have a large network, but like, usually we all say a similar version of it. Connecting is the way that you stand out. Ultimately, what you want to do when you connect is show people what it is like to have an experience of working with you, of talking with you, of communicating with you, of what type of values are they going to see from you that they can expect, and how can you do that? So you want to create content that shows those deeper values. And like, for example, I'm going to give you an example on this one. If you say that you value humans, which a lot of recruiters say something along this lines, right? Like, I value the human connection. I put humans first. I'm a human-centric brand. I mean, that's great. Saying it though adds to the noise, because almost everybody is saying something like that. How did you learn that quality? Instead of telling me that you value humans, how can you show me that you value humans? And where did you learn that from? So creating content that also not only shows your value, it shows that connection piece. So you really want to try to create content that holds all three of those different things and that framework and those pillars in order to attract clients, but also to stand out amongst them.
Yeah, I think you nailed that there. I think there's just so much value in like authenticity, right? Like, as you guys are watching this video here, you get a sense of my goofiness as I show up. How we're showing up into this is exactly how authentically we show up into interacting with our clients. And I don't know about you, but like, there's so many bots, there's so much noise in the marketplace. It's like, I love an authentic post, somebody that's real. That allows me to truly, attach to like their humanized part of their brand, right? And so if you haven't taken steps into kind of showcasing and sharing more about yourself, that actually might be something that's holding you back from getting results from your current content efforts, because there's no connection to the person that's actually creating the content. You're just another kind of talking head out there. And the other thing I want to bring up is, when you're talking about leadership, a great skill is being able to really kind of paint a picture of your client or candidate's day in heaven as well as their day in hell. And you position yourself as the solution to help them, go from heaven to hell. And so really being able to talk detailed, specific about challenges that they're having with, losing top talent. Not just saying things like, hey, are you losing top talent? It's like, hey, are you tired of people dropping off after the final interview? And then you give very specific, detailed. And the more I can paint that picture, the more that person watches that or reads that post and goes, that's me. And that's where we really start to build strong attraction. So, this also brings up, another kind of challenge, which is, people don't just consume one type of content. We have, a good audience here live with us right now that is consuming this as video, but some people don't want to watch videos. Some people prefer audio. Some people prefer, sifting through graphics. Some people prefer just, written articles and posts and things like that. How do we help people, or what do you recommend for people, to make sure that they really have diverse content, but also maintaining very high quality?
Yeah, that's something that I think a lot of people struggle with. And their first lead into content is like, okay, I'm going to write posts. And I think that that's great. I think that that's a really first step. But, in my past life, I was a teacher. And for years, everything was about, you have to create different types of content for different types of learners, right? Like, I want to make sure, like, the epitome of being a teacher to reach all of your different types of students is you want to have different types of mediums, right? Projects, tests, writing, speaking. You want to have video, you want to have text, you want to have audio, visuals, everything, because ultimately that's the best way that you can engage a large group of people. And the same goes for creating content to market your brand. So you really do want to have a diverse range of content. Yes, you want to have written posts. You should have some graphics that accompany those posts that ideally are branded for you and your business. You also want to do different type of polls, because polls are a great way to engage your audience, but they're also a great way to work the algorithm and to get things moving there. You definitely want to have video. And I know that this is the really challenging thing for a lot of people, but video is the easiest way that you show people an experience of what it's like to work with you. And I also think it shows your leadership, because at this point, with more people doing videos, the leaders are the ones that are doing videos. So I think it builds an automatic authority in a sense. So you really want to make sure that you are doing a range of content, including non-professional photos of yourself. I mean, usually sharing a professional photo on LinkedIn, like, I don't mean your profile picture just on your site, doesn't convert as well as like a selfie or something that you did, with your family, and showing that. That's a great way to show your personal side. But ultimately, you want to hit all the different types of modalities in your content in order to create the best conversion.
If you guys are listening with us live, go ahead and tap that button if you guys are finding value. Feel free to ask us any questions about content ideas, creation, tech, whatever it is that you're kind of stuck with your content right now. And we'll circle back and answer some of those in the end here. Now, one of the things that's really key to being successful with content, it's probably one of the most basic things, is consistency, right? Now, I think oftentimes people confuse consistency with quality. It needs to be both. You can't just have consistent junk out there and consistent, let me share this article to make sure I'm consistent, but just checking the box. You want to make sure that you find this magical kind of spot in your business that allows for you to be consistent, but also making sure that you're really valuing your audience's time. Because if you're, one of the first things you're asking for with content is you're asking for the attention of your audience. And so, if you're going to ask for their attention, then you want to make sure you deliver something really valuable, whether it's a, 20 to 30 minute training like this, or a 90-second video, or a 5-sentence post. If you really think about that way, you're asking for their attention. So in order to get more attention, I need to be consistent, but in order to keep the attention, I need to have quality. Can you share, Alexis, the best practices to really becoming more consistent with content?
Yeah, I'm going to share 2 different solutions based on where somebody may be in their career. So if you have time to invest in your development, if you don't have a full schedule, I think that there's a couple tips that you can do and a strategy that you can use in order to do content on your own. So what I would recommend is choose one type of content from each category. So choose a piece of content to lead, to serve, and to connect. Create a content idea for each of those things. Create a rough script. Please do not create a full script. Create a rough script. And then what you can do is time block a 1-hour recording session for yourself. And what I'd recommend doing, record on your phone. That's the easiest way to record. Set up your phone, get, the best type of setup that you can. And then I want you to create a video for each of those pieces of content that you decided. Create one lead, one serve, one connect. Talk through it. The tendency for a first-time recording is to talk a lot. Try to keep it succinct. 30 seconds to a minute and a half is perfectly fine. I think that's the type of range that we typically have right now. Record your content on your phone. Then what you want to do is use something where you can get a transcript from that recording. So there's a bunch of different free tools or paid tools that you can get a transcript from those video recordings. And then you'll want to take those transcripts and turn them into written posts. Never use the direct transcript. It won't even work. It doesn't line up. But tweak them where you can start with a hook, get into your content, and then usually a call to action or some type of finality. And then you can create then you can create a graphic for a testimonial that you may have, or 2. If you do that, you then have 6-8 pieces of content that you can use for the month ultimately. So if you are not at a place where you can invest in any type of marketing, but you do have time to invest, I think that that's a great way that people can get started in creating content, and you have to do it consistently. Because if you take your foot off the gas, the next month that you do have time, you're kind of starting from square one, maybe not square one, but like square 2 again. So you really want to do that. Now, if you are at a place in your business where you are doing well in your business, time is your most valuable thing. Like, you do not want to give up more time, because ultimately time is what's making you money, right? Like working your business. Then you really want to consider investing in a program like what we have, which is our Aura Marketing Hour. So in this, we create a content strategy for you. Every month, we are delivering a framework of content ideas for you. Then we have a 1-hour video recording session. You're not recording on your own. You are recording with me. I'm there to direct you, to guide you, to talk about best practices. I'm coaching you through the time. I know how to get you in a space to get the type of content that converts, and I know how to make you really comfortable doing it and ultimately really enjoy your time. From there, we have a team of video editors. We have graphic designers, copywriters that take your content and that rework it. And ultimately what you get is 1 month of content with a flow in order to post it. So we have taken all of the guesswork out, all of the strategy out, and given you all your time back where you can still be consistent. And ultimately, the content that we get is magnetic and it converts. So if you don't have the time, we are able to save you so much time and honestly get you results from a proven framework that we use.
Yeah, I mean, it's excellent. And one of the things, to drive home is just how we put together all of these elements of focusing on that brand strategy first and foremost. And then, Alexis can't brag about herself as much as I can, but her being in that studio with you is completely invaluable to have a marketing expert in there to help you extract the expertise that you already have. And one of the things that I always notice about a lot of professionals is they really undervalue their expertise because expertise is boring to us as those that are expert in the space. So some of the things that, we're going to help find out from you and be able to extract from you is some of the basic knowledge you think just isn't valuable because it's so basic and you're an expert at it. Well, that's some of the gold that your marketplace would love to really hear. And that's the value of being in the studio with a marketing expert that knows what, again, is going to capture the attention of your market. How do we know this? Because we are doing this every single day. We had multiple clients that are seeing massive increases to their impressions. Now, if you follow us, we don't talk a ton about impressions. We're not into the vanity metrics, but we know we need to be focused on something because what we do is we test the impressions, but then we go look in their profile of who's actually consuming it. And the thing that we're looking at, for example, for me, over 60% of the people that consume my content, I know for a fact are in the staffing and recruiting industry. The next from there is 20%, and that's from professional services. That's my wheelhouse. So I know that my stuff is reaching the right people and targeting. So that's the level of not just are we looking at impressions, we're looking at who are these impressions going to. But I would ask you this really quick. What would it mean for you to just build more brand awareness? Like, what if you were to have an extra 100, 200, 300 people view your profile every single month on LinkedIn? Okay. Because what we've done with some of our clients is over 1,200% increase. That's insane in terms of numbers and how much more visibility that you are actually getting in the marketplace. Okay. And in 2024, being able to capture and hold attention is a real skill. And if you have over 1,200% growth going to your profile, then we're heading in the right direction. So what would it be like for you just to expand visibility? What if all you did all year long was make one additional placement from your content efforts? That's kind of the baseline, of what you should expect. But what does the opportunity on the good side look like? What if you actually doubled your revenue like some of our clients have done because of their content? Here, if you're listening to this right now and you really know that you're an authority and you're an expert in the space, but you feel like you're kind of the best kept secret in the marketplace and there's just not enough people to know, then you need to schedule a call with Alexis and I. We've opened up our calendar. We've got about 5 spots available. Okay. We're looking to bring on a couple more clients, but more of this is about us talking about you and your social media strategy. On this call, we're going to help you get clarity on exactly who your target market is, what's preventing you from really, capturing their attention. And we'll lay out a custom plan for you and build out a social media strategy that you can have right on this call that you can take and run with. And hey, if you want our help to support you in executing that, we can talk about that. But these calls are literally no pressure. We've been adding a ton of value to our market. So if you feel like you're the expert, the best kept secret, this is the number one thing that you can do to grow your business right now. So drop a message below or send Alexis or I a direct message. We'll set up a time to talk to you this week and share with you in more detail how a strategy like this can impact your business. Now is not the time to wait, guys. Okay. If you're a little bit slower in your business right now, then you need to be doing these things because this isn't a snap of the finger, an overnight thing. But if you know for sure, even if you are slow, if you know that you're going to be around and you're not fully invested into your online presence, may not die this time around, but you will eventually. Okay. Because there's a set of people, there's a set of recruiting agencies that are all in on this and they're capturing up all the market share. Now, the good news is there's still a lot of opportunity for you to be a part of this storm, but eventually the ship is going to sail and you're going to be behind the time. So I'd really encourage you, because there's literally no risk in hopping on a phone call with us, to see some of the amazing results. And sometimes the thing that you're looking for in your business isn't the thing that you think is obvious that everybody else is talking about here's the next cold calling strategy and here's how we're going to help you set up a bunch of emails and do all of these things. Not saying those things don't work, but here's the one thing that content does that really aligns with those of you that are watching this and view yourself as a leader and authority, is it supports that effort. Because leaders, authorities, they don't show up desperate in the marketplace. They don't chase clients. They let them come to them. So if you're finally ready for that type of an experience where all of the hard work, energy, and effort that you've put into your business over the years, and for your audience to start to recognize you and view you as the authority that you truly are, there's no better team than Aura Marketing to help you get there. So schedule a call with us. It's the most frictionless, easy call you'll have in the world. And like I said, worst case scenario, you walk away with a strategy. Best case scenario, we're helping you implement that strategy and grow your business just like we have with several other firms. So this is Donnie. Alexis. Alexis, anything else after that?
Yeah, the one thing I was thinking about that I wanted to add in regards to content has to do a little bit with AI, because I think that, I think you and I were talking with clients over the last couple months of like, oh, AI, now I can create content, right? So they were using AI to create written content. And then the market was flooded with so much additional content, right? It has become that strategy is now, an attempt of it is even now outdated because of the flood. There was this like surge of people knowing that they needed to do video in order to stand out from the excess. And like, if you were not doing video, you're like going to be lapped very, very fast, because the attempts at creating content just written or just using AI or just using AI to start is not going to get you the kind of traction. It's not going to get you the traction that you need. And I mean, investing in your personal brand is so much more than just about immediate results. It's about long-term success. We talk about this all the time. Investing in your personal brand helps you grow your business now, but opens up doors for opportunities, networking, and things that you just can't even imagine right now, because you don't even know what those things may be. But an investment in your brand is that. It's opening the door for potential that you can't even anticipate right now. And if you are somebody that knows that you're always going to be on a path of growth, you can't avoid building a personal brand, and specifically using video marketing in addition to like a rich strategy behind it in order to grow that brand.
Love it. So you guys know the marching orders now. If you guys are interested in this, reach out, send us a direct message. We'll set up a call. Like I said, we only have a couple spots available. We're looking to bring on a few more clients this month that are eager and ready to dominate their market. And this is what we help clients do. So go ahead. I'm not going to beat that horse anymore. But thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys joining these shows week in and week out. We've got over 45 people live right now. So if you do want to be one of those 5 that gets the opportunity for this strategy session, go ahead and send us a message right now so we can get you scheduled up. And we'll see you on the other side. Keep out there, keep pushing, keep building your brand. This is Donnie. Alexis.
Bye.